And this is Stacey McKibben with the Master Communicator podcast, where CEOs, senior leaders, and C-suite executives share their advice. It's 6 questions in 9 minutes because the best leaders know how to share their ideas concisely and quickly. Let's jump right in. Question number 1. In a few sentences, tell me who you are and what you do.
Well, my name is Tellier, and I have a passion for new and different experiences. I currently am leading I'm the general manager for a large marketing services agency, but that's just part of what I do. I'm also an investor. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an officer at my church. I'm a soccer coach. I do all of those things, and I think, to me, that's what keeps life interesting, doing a lot of different things.
Well, I love that. It sounds like you've got a really holistic viewpoint with life. And so I'm imagining that your leadership and, communication recommendations will mirror that to some degree. So question number 2 for you. What's the best thing about leading people from your perspective?
People are what life is all about. If you had this beautiful planet and you were alone, it would be a very sad place. But interacting with people, being with people is really what makes life meaningful. And to me, as a leader, whatever context that leadership happens in, I love seeing that spark in people. I love it when they succeed, and they succeed on their own. Let's just be clear about that. You don't you don't make someone successful. They make themselves successful, but you can help them on that journey. And one of my favorite things is when I hear someone say, I remember when you told me one time about something, and I applied that, and here's what happened. That's a wonderful feeling. And as a leader, you get the chance to do that a lot.
I have a feeling that spark you reference looks a lot like you when you just lit up there talking about, doing that for somebody else. That was pretty cool to see. I often hear from other leaders that business would be great if it weren't for that pesky people part. I'm curious, what are your thoughts about that?
Well, I think you know what I'm going to say about that. The best piece of advice I ever got in my entire life, so this is good. So was someone's telling me about their experience in their career, and they were saying that when they were young, they were a hustler and a bustler, and they were trying to make things happen, and they really thought about business as the goal, and people were the means to achieve the goal. Right? So I'm going to meet so-and-so, I'm going to network with a certain person because I'm going to try to achieve this business outcome. And the person said to me, I realized that I had it exactly backwards. Business is just the context that we get to interact with people. It's people that make business enjoyable. Now, you can enjoy business for business sake, and there are a lot of wonderful things that come from business activities, whatever business you happen to be in. But it's that ability to work with people and have it be meaningful. So I think if anyone ever said that to you, they just got it completely backwards. Hopefully someday they'll figure it out.
Well, hopefully they're listening to the podcast. What other successful business leaders like yourself should be on the podcast? What other voices are out there making things happen, really carrying the bag out there in the battlefield of business and life, right? And what other, powerful people should we be paying attention to?
Listen, powerful people are everywhere around you. And by powerful, I mean people that make an impact. Yes. So we typically think of CEOs or other C-suite people as leaders. And that's true. They are leaders. But I find that you can find leadership in lots of different areas. So I was thinking about some of these people, and I have three people. The first 2 are probably your typical, and the third's going to be a little different. So the first leader is Ann Baer. She is the CMO for Nationwide Financial, and I've known Ann now for 7 or 8 years. And I've known her in the capacity as her service provider. I told you in the beginning I'm in marketing services. And I've worked with Ann on her business while she was running Nationwide Retirement. and then the marketing function. And then she left, and I stayed in touch with her. And we developed a personal relationship. As I said, I think those relationships are meaningful. And when I find somebody that I make a connection with, I make a point to stay connected with them. So I stayed connected with Anne and just saw the wonderful things that she did in her career. She transitioned into digital from more of a traditional marketing background. And now she's stepped up and is leading Nationwide Financial. So she's absolutely terrific. The second person would be Craig Lister. He is the CMO for LifeLock, Norton LifeLock. We've had a couple of tries at the brand through some corporate work, but Craig is a person who just wants to get the job done, but is very personal about how he does it. And we formed a relationship with Craig about 4 or 5 years ago. Did a lot of work with Craig, and it's really tumultuous times for that business being sold and transitioned, and there was a lot of leadership changes on his team. And I just loved how he did all of that with compassion. He always had the business outcome in mind, right? That's what we get paid to do. We get paid to deliver business outcomes, but he did it, really mindful of the people and respectful of the relationships with me as a partner. And the third person, briefly, is Bill Gale. So Bill Gale leads marketing technology at AARP. And what I love about Bill is Bill has made our partnership a true partnership, and you don't see that as often as you'd like to. Even inside companies, people within different organizations, they don't really partner. There's some reason that they feel they have to be rivals. Not with Bill. Bill and I built a trusted relationship over the last 7 years, and we've been through a lot, and that's what really makes it meaningful. But I have a personal affinity for Bill and just what kind of person he is.
It's amazing. Well, again, just hearing you light up when you talk about these folks, I know I'm for sure going to go run out and see if I can find them. Hopefully I'll get them on the show. What piece of advice, in 1 minute, about communication would you give to other leaders?
Authenticity. That's number one. First, you have to be authentic with yourself. Be who you are. You have to fit into the culture to a degree. You have to adapt to the culture. But if you're in a culture that doesn't really fit with your personality, then you got to find a different culture. So find a place where you can be who you are, and then stay true to who you are. And then you can be authentic to the people that you're leading, or the people that you're partnering with. So without authenticity, you're just playing a game, in my view.
I love that. All right, magic question number 6. Tell us about your favorite boss or teacher. Who's influenced you?
Oh, my favorite, this Commander Riddle. I was in the Navy before I got into business, and Commander Riddle was, I don't think you mind me saying this, kind of a good old boy.
Mm-hmm.
But he was the second in charge on the ship, and I came on as a greenie. I didn't know anything. And he took me under his wing, and he really pushed me to do things. So we would be in meetings, and he would say things to people that were my superiors. He'd say, "Well, Ensign Tellier has something he wants to tell you. Ensign, tell him." And I knew what he wanted me to say, and I thought, wouldn't it be better if you said it? But he pushed me and got me out there, and he did it with a sense of humor. He really built me up, and we struggled, but I learned so much under Commander Riddle, so I'll shout out to him.
That's amazing. Oh, and thank you for your service. That's just so incredible. I love that. Thank you so much for being on the show, Aaron. It's been absolutely amazing to have you. How can people find you if they want to reach out and say hi?
The best way to find me is on LinkedIn. I've got a common name, or a common profile, and a very unique name. So Aaron Tellier, you'll find me there. I'll be happy. If you message me, I'll be happy to reply.
That's awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. We really appreciate your time today. And this is Stacey McKibbin with the Master Communicator Podcast. For more ideas and insights, please do go check us out at www.concilioteam.com. We look forward to seeing you again next time. Take care.